This is Made for More Living with Johnny Jennings, powered by eXp Realty. Online at madeformoreliving.com.
So, Matt, you're a big believer in under-promise and over-deliver?
Oh, absolutely.
So,
yeah, you want to be realistic in your expectations because what happens? Then you don't have to deal with disappointment. Nobody likes dealing with disappointment.
Hey, I'm with you.
That's what happens when you overpromise and underdeliver.
So I'm with you. That's why in my wedding vows, I underpromised and now I'm over-delivering.
Right.
Yep. So
you promised no children and all of a sudden you've got 2.
Oh, no. I wanted how many was it? 5, 6?
You definitely overpromised. You said you would cook for me and learn how to cook.
Now it all comes out.
Yeah.
Let's hear it, Valerie. Hold on. She's not dead. Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's vent. Come on. Tell us all the promises that Johnny has not delivered on.
That's the first one that comes to mind.
I barbecue.
Sometimes.
Oh, wow. This is good. I think
this is therapy.
This is good. So this
is free therapy. Actually, not really, but
you're upset that he promised that he would cook for you on more often, and he's not doing that.
I said I would learn how to cook.
Oh, you don't know how to cook.
Well,
that's the challenge.
Not really.
I know how to barbecue. I'm not amazing at barbecue, but I can burn a steak.
What were your expectations
for
him?
Yeah. What do you mean I haven't fulfilled? What do I still need to do?
Well, I mean, for a while there, you were like trying and you would do like a new recipe every week. And you were like, I'll cook for you once a week. And I know that was a different phase of our life. Yeah, we've got a lot more going on now. But, stuff like that where it's like it was an effort that you were trying for that.
Not making an effort, Johnny.
That was like 3 weeks. That was not very long.
I know.
Okay.
We've been married for a long time.
We have been
that
married
was 3 weeks.
Oh, wow.
So I think to make your wife happy, you should try that. Give it a shot. Try to create something interesting,
Okay.
You can follow recipes.
There are cheats.
I know you
yes,
can.
There's lots of cheats.
You are good at that.
As long as there's not a lot of chopping and dicing and anything like that, I'm okay.
Yeah.
Just go to the supermarket and ask them to do it for you.
There you go.
And then come home and you've got all the stuff.
Hey, that's how I grocery shop.
Once a week.
Yeah. Yep, Valerie.
It's a good skill to have, to learn how to use a knife though. So
I can
chop stuff.
Whatever.
And they have machines that can actually do that for you too.
Here's the thing too though, is yes, maybe I'm not the best cook, and yes, maybe my idea of doing the laundry is throwing everything on cold, right? And just letting it ride. But
see what happens.
There's a lot of we started dating in 2010, married in 2013.
Yeah.
So we got 14 years of being together under the belt, 11 of being married at the time of this recording. I've learned a whole lot of other, I would argue, more valuable skills that have contributed to the family.
Oh, man.
Yes.
I've learned how to weld. I've learned how to sell. I've learned how to market.
Did you say weld?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like with a welding machine? What are you welding?
Welding metal. Bakersfield, oil fields.
Oh, you learned how to weld back in the day. I was thinking, how are you incorporating welding into your real estate company?
No, this is
previous career.
Okay. There you go.
Career.
You learned how to weld.
Yeah. I can pass the occasional X-ray. I can. So what that means, if you're listening, in the oil fields and in many other industries, what they'll do is they'll X-ray the welds to look for impurities in them, and it has to meet a certain standard based off what you're welding in order for that X-ray to pass. And so I can pass the occasional X-ray. I'm not like the best, but I can pass the occasional X-ray.
There you go. But basically, she is feeling a little disappointed that you overpromised on your cooking skills and you've under-delivered on what you promised and what she had expected.
I'm just so busy over-delivering to our clients.
That's true.
But your wife is your most important client. But anyways, let's dive into that. Over promising and under delivering. It can happen in our work lives, in our personal lives, and also in real estate, right?
Oh, definitely in real estate. Mm-hmm. Definitely in real estate. That's the easiest thing to do is to tell somebody what they want to hear.
Because what do you think of this story? I saw online there was a realtor who.
Good job, by the way.
Thank you. It's not realtor or realtor. It's realtor. Right? Realtor.
Round of applause.
Yes.
There you go,
Good
everybody.
Job.
Well, I had been saying it wrong for 6 months, and he never said anything. He just said, anyways, so this realtor online was meeting with a client, doing a listing appointment, had a conversation with the lady. She was selling her home, And he put these expectations in her mind that it was going to sell for a really high price for that neighborhood. Then, I don't know, a week later, they finally did the comps, found out that, oh my gosh, the homes are selling for $50,000 less than what that conversation was the week before. So he goes and he has that conversation. It's like, hey, I got bad news. You know, the comps are $50,000 less, and $50,000 was a lot. Mm-hmm. And she's like, well, you've already set my mind on this price point. Yep. So I'm not coming down. We're going to sell it for this price. And he's like, we're not going to do anything with that. And so she went with another realtor, same price.
She went with Made for More Realty.
Yeah, right. No, I don't think so, because the home sat on the market for months and finally expired. And he felt a little good about that. Obviously, he should not have set her expectations so high. He overpromised and underdelivered.
He didn't deliver.
Yeah, he didn't deliver.
I mean,
correct.
Underdeliver is like coming in late. You know, like Amazon said it'll be there Tuesday. It's Thursday. You know, it never showed up.
Right, that's true. So how do you feel about that?
So this is something that I'm trying to keep the passion level down a little bit, because this is something that just fires me up. Because, for example, I was speaking with a person on Saturday. And she said, well, so-and-so said they could get me this much. The realtor from my bank said they can get me this much. And why are you saying it's so much lower? And I asked her, I said, hey, well, have you ever heard of somebody buying the listing before? She's like, no, what does that mean? I said, that's basically they're buying the listing. They're telling you what you want to hear in order to get the listing. And then once they have the listing, they're going to start doing price adjustments and beat you down until you get that price to where it needs to be. Mm-hmm. She's like, oh my gosh, I think you're right. Because he said he could sell it for all this money, but if we didn't get an offer in 7 days, we'd have to adjust the price. Mm-hmm. And then we'd have to adjust it 7 days after that and 7 days after that. And I was like, oh my gosh, totally that's what that guy's doing, is he's just buying the listing. And so when I hear clients going through, I mean, this is real estate. It's not rocket science. Now, there is a bit of nuance. Like if interest rates spike, or if a bunch of a new build community, like we've gotten bit by this a couple of times, where there's some unknowns. All of a sudden a builder starts promoting or starts building, and it's even it's not even, the homes aren't even built,
right?
But they're starting the phase, and now they're offering all these incentives to attract people to this community. Okay, well, that just impacted the comps for your home. Even though nothing has sold, even though there's nothing on the record, there are homes in contract to be sold.
Right.
And so there are some things that can come out of left field, but for the most part, it's a pretty cut and dry business. If 10 homes sold in your community in a certain range, why would your home sell outside that range?
Right.
Yeah.
So
I think it's beneficial to be real. You know, don't overpromise. Wouldn't you agree? Because then you get yourself in a pickle like that realtor did, where he lost the listing and then he really disappointed that client.
And it also comes down to expectations. Like what has been communicated? Did I say I could get you X for the property? If so, prove it to me. What's my phrase?
Right.
Phrase, right? Believe none of what you hear and only half of what you see. Prove it to me. Show me how it is worth this much money. Right. Show me where other homes have sold for this much money. Like be skeptical, but most people want to hear that their home is worth more money, and they're willing to accept that mistruth rather than confront the uncomfortable situation. And we have a couple of different ways that we walk people through this, Val. So, like, you mind walking us through from the moment they say, "Hey, come out, meet with me. What's my home worth?" How do we handle it from there?
You mean like running comps and?
Yeah, just going through the listing process. Yeah.
Yeah. So
people know what to expect if they were to work with us.
Yeah. So I mean, the first, you call in, you say, "Hey, I'd like you to come tell me what my home is worth and talk to me about the process of getting the house on the market." So then one of us will show up and talk you through everything and how that works.
Yeah.
What we do is, we like the comps conversation we were just having, make sure that we figure out an accurate price for your home, make sure that you're on board with that, and everybody's on the same page about fees and everything associated.
Yeah.
And then we go ahead and have a staging consultation. So the stager will come out and tell you some tips to do with your house, how to make it look absolutely beautiful for photos. Then we have a professional photographer who also does a 3D virtual tour. And those are really helpful because it's, what you always call it, Johnny, the always open house.
Yep.
Yeah. So people can.
What does that mean?
Yeah, so you can actually take a virtual tour through the house with, it's this 3D camera that basically like allows you to look up and down and sideways. And
So you can see the floor plan. You can say, hey,
Yeah.
here's where the kitchen is. Here where the kids' bedrooms are. Here's where the primary bedroom is.
Yeah.
Where's the garage? So you get a feel for the house before actually having to hop in your car, whether you're coming from the Bay or whether you're just coming from across town and go out and book an appointment to see the home.
yeah, so it's a really great tool to have when the house goes on the market.
Really great tool. In fact,
Yeah.
87% of the time, homes with a 3D tour sell for more money than homes without a 3D tour.
Exactly. Yeah.
So yeah, it's a
Why is that,
non-negotiable.
though?
Because they're getting to experience the home, right? There's again, it's setting the expectation, because sometimes the pictures can look great. The drone photography may make the home appear a certain way, but then when you actually get in the home, you're like, hey, this is totally different than what I expected.
Yeah.
And when you're in there in the 3D tours, like it's real, it's raw. This is genuine. This is authentic.
Right.
It's more transparent.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, even down to the fact that the 3D tour can't be photoshopped. So there's no you can't color correct or anything.
right.
So it's the real deal of what the house looks like. So that's one thing we always do. Then we, put it up on the internet, so it's published out
But
on.
before we put it on the internet, we also send it out to a local appraiser.
Oh, you're right. Yes. Yeah. So so we're not only hearing the price from us who've run our own comps, right? But actually getting a professional appraiser's opinion on it before we put it on the market too, to make sure, just a second set of eyes that there wasn't something that we missed when we were looking at our comps.
So Valerie and I are real estate brokers. So there's the salesperson is they just got their license, 2 weeks ago. They're a salesperson. You have to have been in the industry at least 2 years and pass additional courses in order to become a broker. So Valerie and I have done the extra work to become broker associates with the company we're at. And so even though we're real estate brokers, we still are farming this out, and getting the second opinion from a local appraiser, because we want to make sure that home, that we're not over promising and under delivering.
Yeah.
We want to make sure that all expectations have been set, and we share that information. But then at the end of the day, right, it's it's the seller's choice what they want to list it
I
at.
was just gonna say that. Yeah, I'm like,
Yeah.
ultimately at the end of the day, if you as the seller, it's your house, it's your rules. Like we always say that too. It's your decision on what you want to price the house at. Ultimately, we're just here to provide the data.
Yep,
Yeah.
we're here to provide the data, and then moving forward, there are certain tells whether or not that price is accurate.
Yeah.
And so if the average days on market are X and you've been on X plus 10 days, okay, then maybe you're overpriced. If we're seeing 4 to 5 showings a week, okay, then that's a good indication that you're priced correctly. Like private showings, I'm not talking about 5 people through an open house. I'm talking about private showings, 4 to 5. That's a lot.
Yeah.
And your home's getting enough exposure, then we're probably priced correctly. But if nobody's coming through the house, or it's one person a week, and we keep getting feedback that the home is priced incorrectly, then now, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, it's time to do a price adjustment.
Right.
We tried the higher price. We need to purchase in a new buyer bracket.
Yeah.
Yeah. So buyer brackets are a really interesting thing, and we can touch on that when we come back.